Got disconnected. Okay. Okay. So let's start. So C programming is procedure oriented language. Object oriented language. Example of object oriented programming is C++, Siddesh. Okay. After C, we are going to start with C++. In that, you will get the knowledge of what is object oriented programming and how it is differ from procedure oriented programming. Okay, Siddesh? Okay. So in that, in object oriented programming, the way of writing program is in the form of classes and object mainly. Okay, here we are writing just functions. That's why C is procedural and C++ is object oriented. So it is developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972 at Bell Telephone Laboratory to develop Unix operating system. Have you used Unix operating system? No one? Okay. So it is used to develop Unix operating system. It is robust language whose rich set of built-in functions and operators can be used to write any complex program. Again, these are the advantages of using C. It is highly portable and extensible. Have you heard about the programming language Python? So many of the libraries from Python are written in C language only. Okay, so this is very much portable and extensible. Okay, now this is a simple structure of C program. So as many of you know basics of from C, you must have known this structure. Okay, so can anybody tell me what is this hash include? Why we write hash include? What does it call? This stdio.h is a library function in C++ in C. Show me. But what does this hash include means? It is called as preprocessor directive. This hash include is preprocessor directive which tells your compiler to include this header library, header functions in your program. Okay, so stdio is a library which deals with input output. So functions which we have used here we have used printf function. Printf and scanf are IO functions, right? So the definition of this function is written here, okay, in this library. So this statement tells your compiler to include this library as we will need it for execution of our program. Okay, so the functions which we are using here are written in this library. The definition is written here in this library. Okay, so if you write printf and scanf, it is compulsory to write to include this stdio.h header file. So how you will include? By telling your compiler with this keyword hash and include keyword. You will tell your compiler to include this file. Then comes your main function. So there are many ways of writing main function. Okay, but here we are going to follow particular pattern in which we are going to write int main. Okay, so this is a starting point of your program. Okay, then we have a declaration part. Variable declaration goes here. Then we have a function body. Whatever operations you want to perform, you can write here in body part. And then at the end, return 0. Return statement we are writing. Why? As we are writing int main, it is compulsory to write return 0 at the end. Okay, so the files that are specified in include section is called header files. So stdio.h is there, math.h is there, stdlib is there, then string.h is there. All these are header files. These are precompiled files that has some functions defined in them. So for stdio, we have a function definition for printf and scanf, right? We can call those functions in our program by supplying parameters. So header file, just a minute. So the header file is with extension .h, and you need to save your C source program, C source file with .c extension. Everyone is clear? Okay, so these header files come with .h extension, and you have to save your code with .c extension. Okay, any doubt with this? With header files? Then we have a main function. This is an entry point of a program. When your file is executed, it will start from main function. Then from main function, the flow goes as per the programmer's choice. If you have written some user defined functions in your code, then the control will go to that function whenever you call it in your main function. Okay, so the control flow then depends on whatever operations you are doing in your program. There may be or may not be functions written in your written by user in program. Main function is compulsory for any C program. Okay, do you know any language where we don't need to write main function? Any programming language where we are not writing any main function? Anyone? Right, right, right. Ayush, Shomik, Mayur, Ayush. Right. So in Python, it is not compulsory to write main function, but when you write your program in when you write your code in C or C++, it is compulsory to write your main function. Then these are the various ways of writing main function. You can just write main, or you can write void main, or you can write int main. Then another way of writing is main and in bracket void, that will be return type of your parameter, data type of your parameter. Or you can write void main in bracket void, or you can write int main and in bracket void. So these are different ways of writing main function, but the syntax actually depends on your compiler. So here I am using dev C++. So dev C++ doesn't support void main. Okay, that's why we are writing int main. And if we are writing int main, means it is returning something which is of type integer. This is a return type, no? Void int is return type. So means your function is returning something. That's why when we write int main in our program, it is compulsory to write return 0 at the end. Got it? But these all ways are acceptable, but that depends on your compiler. Any doubt with this? Any doubt? No doubt? Okay. Then running a C program. Do you guys know how to run program in dev C++? Here I am using dev C++. Which editor you have used? Which software you have used for writing a C code? Sublime you have used. Okay. Ubuntu. Okay. So do I need to, okay, terminal. So do I need to show you how to write a code in dev C++, how to compile, how to run, or you guys know it? Okay, I will tell you. Okay, I will show it once. Just a minute. Can you see my screen? Okay. Okay. So this is a dev C++ window. Okay. So from here you can create a new file, new source file. Okay. Okay. And then you can start writing your code. So here I have written already, I have written hello world program. So I will explain it to you. So this is our preprocessor directive, and here we have included standard io.h header file. Then I have written int main. Then I am here, I am just printing. Here I am using printf, that's why I have included this stdio. So here I am printing a simple message which I have to write it in double quotes. Okay. So here I have written hello world, and at the end I am returning 0. Okay. Now you need to save it. You need to save it. Okay, here it is already saved. So you need to save it with .c extension. As I'm using dev C++, you can run your C code even in your dev C++, but you have to save it with .c extension. Then go to execute, then compile, and then run. Okay, so our program has 0 errors, 0 warnings. So we will go for run. Okay, so this is, can you see output window? Right. So this is my output window. Okay, so very simple. Everyone is clear? Okay, so let's go back to presentation mode. Okay, so these are the steps you have to follow while running a program. You have to type a program, any editor you can use. You have to save it with .c extension. Then before running your code, you need to compile it first and then run. So can anybody tell me what is the use of compiler here? What actually your compiler does to your source code? Can you tell me? Yes, it finds error, it looks for errors, but what it actually does? Yes, correct, Shreyas. It converts the code to machine code. It creates executable file. Shivam, correct. It creates executable file from .c. It converts it to .exe file. So this is a simple flow of program execution. So here suppose I have written a code with name first and I have saved it with .c extension. Then this is my source file. Now I am compiling my program. So what compiler does? It will create your source file to object file. It will convert your source file to object file and the linker in compiler then convert it to one executable file. Okay. Now this file gets executed and this loader will tells your program to display your output on screen. And then by using loader, with the help of loader, you can see output on the display screen. Okay, so what is loader and linker? I have added it in presentation PPT. Okay, I will share these PPTs with you today only. Okay, so for sharing PPTs, what I will do, I will create one Google Classroom. Okay, the link for Google Classroom, I will share it on your email IDs. You need to join there on Google Classroom. I will share all the material. Okay, and for assignments also, we will use same Classroom. On Classroom, I will create some assignments on a weekly basis, and in that Classroom, only you have to submit your assignments. Okay, so all the details, all the theory I have added to presentation. Okay, you can go through it. I will share PPTs today only after creating Classroom. Any doubt? Any queries? Any suggestion for that? For this? Okay. Okay, so should we go forward? And please be little interactive, everyone. This is for your benefit only, okay? Please be interactive. Okay, so let's go to next topic. We'll start with token types in C. As we know that C is a programming language. Again, it is a language, so it will have some components, right? Like in English, we have alphabets. In alphabets, we have vowels, consonants, and all, right? Right. So again, C is a language. That's why it will have its own components. Okay. So in C, we have six different token types. Some are keywords, then identifiers, constants, strings, some special symbols are there, operators are there. So we will see all of these one by one. So keywords are those names which you cannot use for your different operations. Okay, these keywords have some predefined meaning to it. Okay, you cannot use these values for variable. Okay, so you cannot use for as a variable in your program, you cannot use while as a variable in your program, long, integer, int, if, do, default. You cannot use these keywords for 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 creating variables. Okay, you cannot use these keywords for giving function names. Okay, so these are predefined words which has predefined meaning to it. Got it, everyone? What are keywords? Okay, now identifiers. Just a minute, just a minute. Okay. So next is identifier. So the identifiers are programmer chosen name to represent part of program. You can give these names to your variables or to your functions. You cannot use keywords as a variables and functions. You cannot give keyword names to variables and functions. Your identifiers must begin with alphabets or with underscore followed by alphabets or numeric values. Your identifier should be in upper or lowercase character. It must contain only letters, digit, and underscore. You cannot add different special characters to special symbols to your identifier. You cannot add dollar symbol. You cannot add asterisk symbol to your identifier. You can only use underscore or digit or letters in your identifier. Okay? It must not contain spaces. Is it clear? Is it clear? Naming convention for identifiers? It should start with alphabet or with underscore followed by alphabet or numeric value. It should be in upper or lower case. Must contain only letter, digit and underscore. Okay, and it must not contain white spaces. These are the some examples of identifiers. So total cells, combined word is valid identifier. Then total underscore cells is also valid identifier. Then total dot cells is invalid. Why? As it contains dot. Then fourth quarter cell. Again it is invalid. Why? As it is starting with number. Okay, your identifier should start with alphabet or underscore. Okay. Then last one is total cells and dollar attached to it. Again it is invalid as it contains dollar symbol. So these are the valid and invalid examples for identifier. Then we have constant. So we have two types here. One is constant and variable. So constant in C are fixed values. Do you know what are constant? Anybody wants to answer? Anybody? You can unmute yourself. If you want to give answer, either you can unmute or you can give it in chat window. Is value for constant is fixed. Once you assign some value to constant, you cannot change it. Okay, so you can assign any value. You can assign integer value to your constant. You can assign real value. You can assign single character by passing it in single quote, or you can even assign string value by passing it in double quotes. So I can write suppose I am creating constant a which is of integer type. So can anyone write the syntax for creating constant? Can you write syntax for creating constant? No one? Ritvik, as we are creating constant, we need to add const keyword. So I will write here in chat window, I will show you. Const is a keyword here, then my a will be of type integer, name for my constant is a, then assignment operator I am going to use and the value 7 semicolon. So this is how we will create constant. So I have created a constant a which is of type integer and I have assigned value 7. Now I cannot change this value to any other value. Okay. Okay, so in same way you can assign any value, real value, character value, string value to your constant. So data type will be different for every different value. If I am assigning real value, then the data type will be float. If I am assigning character value, the data type will be char. Okay, then declaration part. Constants and variable must be declared before they can be used. A constant declaration specifies the type here. In chat window I have written the data type is integer, then the name, a is name here, and the value for that constant 7 is a value for my constant a. Okay, now any attempt to alter the value of variable defined as a constant result in error message. Now if I want to change this value to any other value, suppose 7.5, that will throw an error. Okay, now for variable declaration, it specifies the type, name, and possibly initial value. It is not compulsory to assign value to your variable. Okay, you can assign it later. When you declare a constant or variable, what does your compiler do? It reserves the memory location in which to store the value of constant or variable and the name associated with that constant or variable. Got it, everyone? Any doubt with constants and variable? So const is a keyword here. Int is a keyword here. Okay. Then we have variables. So variable is a data names that is used to store any data value. Again, you can assign real value, integer value, character value to your variable. The variables are used to store the value that can be changed. Opposite to your constant, value of variable can be changed. It is similar to your algebra. So examples for variable is given here. Here we have written expression in which we have different variables. X is a variable here, A is a variable, B is variable, like this. Okay. Then declaring a variable. Before using variable, it is compulsory to declare them. Okay. For declaration part, as I have shown you structure, the declaration of variable and constant will go in that declaration part. So the simple syntax, simple example of declaring variable is given here. Int length. So here is a data type and the name associated to your variable. So I have given a name length. Okay. You can assign any value here only or you can do it later. Okay, so here you can assign, you can declare your variable which is of same data type in single line, or you can declare them separately. Okay, any doubt with this basic concepts? Any doubts in keywords, identifier? No. Okay. Okay, so before starting with other topic with data type, we will have a quick poll on these topics. Okay, so I'm opening a poll now. Let's have a poll. Okay, can you see poll questions? Can you see the poll questions? Okay, So
Yes, ma'am.
start solving. Come on, finish it fast. Yes, Samarth. Let's wait for 2 minutes. Okay, so only 12 are remaining. So let's discuss the questions. Which of the following is not a valid variable name in declaration? So for this, correct answer is D. Okay, all are all are valid. Okay, your identifier can start with underscore, right? Followed by numeric value or alphabet. So first one is also valid, second one is also valid, and third one is also valid. So for first question, correct option is D. Then second, which of the following is not a valid variable name? So for this, poll is still open, Priyank. You can open from your end. Okay, you have a poll option. You can open your poll, Priyank. Have you opened your poll, Priyank? Okay, so everyone, you can open your own poll. Okay, everyone, should we discuss questions? Shreyas, Lahari, Sheshu, Pratmesh, Shiva. Okay, so the second one is which of the following is not valid variable name declaration? So for that, correct option is D. Okay, so first one is valid. You can have underscore. Then second one is also valid. Third one is also valid. Correct option invalid variable name is D. Your identifier cannot start with number. Okay, that's why this is invalid. Then third one is all keywords in C are in lowercase. The correct option is A. Then which of the following is not a valid C variable name? So correct option is D for this one. As your variable name is starting with dollar, which is not acceptable. That's why it is invalid. Fourth one, our correct option is D. Then which is a valid C expression? Correct option is B. Many of you have voted for this one only. Okay, so the correct option is B. Do I need to explain it? No? Okay. Okay, so Arnav wants explanation. Okay, just a minute. The poll has ended. Open your own poll now. Which is valid C expression? So in first one, we have a comma in between for value, right? 100 comma. That's why it is invalid. In option C, we have a space. Int my space num. Again, your variable cannot have space. That's why C also invalid. In D we have a dollar symbol at the start. That's why again it is invalid. So correct expression is option B. Okay, Anna? Then which of the following cannot be variable name in C? So correct option here is volatile. Your C does not have boolean data type by default. If you want to use boolean data types, then you need to include underscore bool to your C program. Okay, we don't have default boolean data type in C. We only have int, float, double, then arrays, structure, enumeration, and all. If you want to include boolean, then you need to, if you want to use boolean, then you need to include that header file. So that's why you can use this true as a identifier, as a variable. Okay, but volatile is a boolean data type, means data type which has only two values, true and false. Okay, Ayush? Okay, so boolean data type only have true or false value. Okay, so you can use true as a variable name. As C is procedure oriented language, you can use this friend function, friend class. You cannot have, we don't have a friend function, friend class in C. That's why you can use this friend keyword, friend word as a variable. And even you can have export as a variable name. Only one is left here, volatile. Volatile is a keyword which is related to memory. Okay, so we will see it afterwards. So you cannot have volatile word as a variable name. Got it, everyone? So correct option for this is A. Many of you voted for true, which is wrong. The correct answer is A. Okay, everyone? Any doubt in today's topic? No? Good, good. So we will start data type in tomorrow's session. Okay? So if you don't have any doubt, you can leave the meeting. We will meet tomorrow. Thank you everyone.